Which one is better, the Insta360 Go 3 or Go 3S or the DJI Osmo Pocket 3? Honestly, it's not even close. I got a pretty interesting question the other day. It was a good enough question that I would make a video talking about it. And the question was, if I had to do it over, would I get the Insta360 Go or Go 3S, or would I get the DJI Osmo Pocket 3, which is what I'm currently shooting on right now? With no question, I would get the Pocket 3 10 out of 10 times over the Go 3 or the Go 3S. And there's a couple of reasons why. I switched to my Sony camera so that I can have both these cameras on screen while I'm talking about them. So for $400, according to just a quick Amazon search, you can get the Insta Go 3S, which is the one that shoots in 4K. This Go 3 only shoots in 2.7K. So all that automatically, this shooting in 4K, this shooting in 2.7K. This one's it's obviously a lot better, but I think a better comparison was going to be with the Insta Go 360S, which is the more updated version compared to this, because they both shoot in 4K and they're both targeted as vlogging cameras. For $400, you can buy pretty much everything that you need. It comes with a couple of mounting options. It comes with the camera itself, which is this small little thing, and the little pod, which gives you the flip up screen so that you can see yourself while you're vlogging, which is important. But for around $500, or if you want to get the creator bundle, which I highly recommend, for $500 or a little bit more, $600, $700, you can get the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. And with that, you get 4K, like I said, but you get a couple of other things, and you also get like a flips or a screen that you can see yourself. Again, similar to the Go 3S. Now, with each camera, there are advantages and disadvantages. And I'm going to start with the advantages that this camera, the Go 3 or the Insta360 camera, has over the DJI. The biggest one being this is waterproof, and it's more like an action cam, like a GoPro, meaning that you can like go out in the rain with it, you can drop it. I've dropped this thing many times, as you can probably tell based on the little screen right there, or the lens. And it's pretty durable. And with this, it just feels a little bit more fragile. I don't know how fragile it actually is. I've never dropped it, but I would feel more comfortable if I had to pick one to drop. I would feel more comfortable dropping this one over this one. This one also isn't waterproof, as you can probably tell with the SD card slot. This one doesn't even have an SD card. It just records internally, and you can just offload it with the USB-C, but you can also do this, and that's what I do with the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. I'm not going to spend a ton of time going over the specs for each camera. You can look that up if you really want to. Both cameras have their specs listed on their websites, and there's about 1 million videos talking about that on YouTube. I'm going to purely go from a consumer experience. Over the past 2 weeks, most of every shot that I've shot for videos has been with this guy, with the exception of a couple. And honestly, I think it looks really good. And with this, I've used this since it really came out, and it's been a tool that I've come to really depend on a lot. And the image doesn't look bad in this, but I just think that this camera just looks better, and what it allows you to do, I think it lets you have more flexibility as like a potential replacement for like a big camera like the Sony a7S III. I think this kind of falls into the action cam kind of category, where it's kind of like a supplemental, like in addition to a big vlogging camera like the Sony a7S III with this 12 to 24 G Master lens and a fancy microphone. And shooting on the Go 3, that's kind of always how I felt about it. I didn't think the image quality was great. It was passable, but it wasn't great, and you could definitely tell a difference when I shot on this compared to what I'm shooting on right now, which is my Sony camera. Shooting the past couple of weeks, I don't think I've actually used this camera at all. I've only used the Pocket Osmo, or whatever this thing's called, and it's because the image is that good. This shoots in a log format, which is important for me in my workflow. It also shoots in 10-bit, which is the same as what the Sony camera shoots in. Now, I'm not gonna say that the Sony camera and this look the exact same. The Sony camera obviously looks a little bit better, but the difference or the slight degradation in image quality is almost negligible for what this thing allows you to do. The low light in this camera looks really, really good and is competitive to my Sony a7S III, as well as just normal daylight shots. If you put shots from the Pocket 3 next to the Sony a7S III, it would be really difficult to tell what one was shot on what. So image quality, it's close enough to where I feel comfortable taking this instead of my Sony camera, and that's something that I've never felt with any camera, let alone this camera. And the second thing is going to be audio. With this, you can actually use a bunch of different microphones. And what I've recently been using with my Sony camera is the DJI Mic 2 with the transmitter going into a hot shoe that Sony has. And I really, really like that. And the nice thing about this Pocket 3 is I can do pretty much the same thing. This just connects to this Pocket 3 and it sounds really, really good. It sounds the exact same. And that's probably the most important thing for me, at least. I'm pretty picky when it comes to audio, and if I can have the audio sound similar going from camera to camera, that's a big thing. And with this DJI mic, I'm able to do that really, really well, and it just integrates so well with the Osmo Pocket 3 for obvious reasons. For this guy, I've tried everything that I can think of, and there's no way to get any kind of microphone or external microphone into this guy. You're pretty much just committed to the microphones that are built in on the camera, which aren't terrible. They're passable again, but since we're talking about internal microphones, I do think that these internal microphones on the Pocket 3 sound a little bit better. So like I said before, you can get the newest Insta360 Go 3 or the Go 3S for $400, and for a little bit more, this thing does cost more, but you can actually get the creator combo with the Osmo Pocket 3 for $670. Now the question is this worth more money than this, or should you save your money and get the Insta360 Go 3? Well, I think honestly, if it was me and I was buying it over again, I wouldn't buy the Insta360 Go 3. As cool as the camera is, and as much as it allows you to do creatively and just getting weird shots, I just think the Pocket 3 is a little bit better for like an overall or it's a more well-rounded camera for making videos. They both work incredibly well. They're really, really intuitive, and so far they're both fairly dependable. But I think with being able to use external microphones and the fact that this can shoot in log and in 10-bit, the Pocket 3 is just a little bit better. And to me, it's well worth the money. Also, if you do buy the creator combo, you pretty much have everything that you could ever possibly need for this guy. Like this is basically you can make any kind of video that you want with what comes in the creator combo. It comes with a tripod, an external battery, a microphone, and it's really a good, it's like, I think it's $150 more than just the base unit. So for that, I'd recommend just saving your money and getting the creator combo, just so that you have everything that you need to start making videos. Okay, that's about it. Like I said, I think this one is better. If you're on the fence, go for the Pocket 3, even if it costs a little bit more and you have to save a little bit more. I think it'll take you further in the long run. If you're interested in either camera, I'll put links down below. It's just an Amazon link. Yeah, if you like this video, let me know. And if you have any other questions about the Pocket 3 or the Insta360 Go 3, feel free to leave comments and I will get back to you. I'll continue to test this thing. We're going to Hawaii this week, and I'm going to make my first like travel vlog with this guy. It's going to be more of like a run and gun kind of situation, and that to me is where a camera either makes it or is completely discarded. So I'm curious to see how this guy will do with that. With that, I'm gonna go, and I'll see you guys